Ready? Go!
Huh?
Ready? Go! Ready? Go! Ready? Go! Ready? Go! Ha! Ready? Go!
of like a trivia question, and it's just notable women, and then
Yeah. Wait, we're live, but we'll start now. But welcome, Kadence, to the show. Welcome to Botlane episode 7. Thank you so much for joining. Would you care to introduce yourself?
absolutely. My name's Cadence. My pronouns are she and her. First time caller, longtime fan. A little bit about myself. You may know me from a few different places. I have a YouTube channel where I make a lot of content for people who are trying to get into Melee. Um, I've also have run a quite successful tournament series called Only Noobs. That it's its own conversation. And then if you're someone who just watches Melee at home like you are now, you've probably seen me commentate some of the biggest tournaments of the last couple of years.
That's awesome. I'm curious, like, how did you end up in Chicago, since this is kind of like a Chicago-centric show?
Yeah, I wish I had a more interesting question, but basically born and raised in and right next to Chicago, so kind of my default landing place.
Yeah, no, that's great. How did you end up in Melee then?
Oh, that's a fun question. I got into Melee. Such a fun question. I'm trying to give you like an elevator speech version of it, but I think the interesting part to it was I got into Melee like a bit older, and I have always wanted. I think I liked the idea of a video, like an activity like Smash Brothers, or like a video game that had like, it was something that like wasn't very serious, but was accessible and like social. So I had a couple of false starts. I had a string of roommates who were into Melee, and I never once played with them because I thought Smash Brothers was kind of lame to play if you're an adult or not a child. But when I was getting settled and I kind of had an adult job and like was getting settled in my my social life or whatever, yeah, it just seemed like kind of a fun opportunity. So sometime in 2018 I saw a poster in Wicker Park for I still remember the poster. It was for an event on Milwaukee Avenue, and I was like, this looks kind of cool. My roommate at the time, I didn't know him, but he had a game controller, so I was like, hey, I'm gonna borrow this. I want to check this thing out. And I knew I wasn't good at video games. I never had video games around, but I went there, and oh my god, everyone is so good. Like if you've never played competitive Smash, you're probably gonna be shocked like I am. Like everyone is, even the bad, quote unquote bad people, which there are no bad people. Even those people are very good comparatively in a game like Smash. So that one kind of kicked my ass a bit. And so like that was kind of hard because I was kind of late to the game, but I had met some friendly people there anyway. But my melee relationship, I guess, I would say really got started when I moved in with a person named Andrew, also known as Unsure, a pretty prominent Chicago TO at the time. And then at that point, I almost like didn't have much of a choice to kind of be on the fence with Smash. Like that was his deal, and yeah, living with a TO definitely cemented my place in the Smash community.
Yeah, so you went on to run Only Noobs as a tournament. Like, it was Unsure the person who kind of you studied under or kind of grew under, like in terms of mentorship, or how did that like kind of bloom, like your own TO journey?
Oh, okay, that's a fun question. So I moved in with Unsure in let me think here. It would have been 2019. Yeah, it would have been late 2019, and it was kind of like a random roommate deal. Like I was in a group chat, and I got added to it because Andrew mentioned something about needing a roommate, and I was like kind of in between places, and so like we kind of knew each other a little bit, or like he seen me sign up for like an event before. And so we quickly chatted on Facebook Messenger, and we are like, yeah, let's do it. I need a roommate. I need a place to live. And so I still didn't know much about Smash, but because I'm a little bit older and I've had experience in other places, we kind of connected on like organizing events. So I will say very quickly we realized we're both like organized, ambitious people. And so we started organizing events together out of like the apartment like very quickly. And I give Andrew a lot of credit because he, despite me not like being new to Melee and me being able to barely hold a controller, he gave me quite a bit of like trust and a lot of leeway on running events. And so yeah, we started running events together right off the bat. And that, led into a sequence of events that eventually had me running Only Noobs. So yeah, I would say that, Andrew, especially early on, because I literally knew, at this point, you probably know more about running Tournament Story than I did when I was in that situation. And so, yeah, Andrew definitely caught me up to speed around the world of Smash Brothers Melee.
What did you find was like the hardest part or the easiest part about like becoming a tournament organizer when you were first starting out?
Yeah, I think the hardest part, well, I mean, I will say generally running tournaments it's come fairly easily to me. I will say the hardest part was, so in the Melee TO world, there's like a lot of expectations to follow certain norms and like traditions, and like there's a lot of, well, it's been done this way, this is always how it's been done. And so when I came into the scene with like the comfort of running complicated events, but I was new, I very often would reject a lot of like best practices and like, tried and true advice, even from Unsure, because I was new. I'm like, I don't understand why things need to be this way when they don't have to be. And so early on, I found a lot of friction because I wasn't like following the rules. And it's hard when you're new because you don't know if that friction is coming from a place of like it's valid and you should know better, or maybe people just didn't like new things. And so I had to trust my gut a little bit when starting out because a lot of people just like didn't see the vision at the time.
Yeah.
And, me and Andrew, we work really well together, but there was a point where basically he would tell me to do something a certain way, and I would do the opposite. I would turn around and do the opposite for almost every single like advice and suggestion. And, there's not really a right or wrong answer. It's just different. And not many people had done the things I had done. So, yeah, a lot of people, in my experience, were very skeptical and questioned a lot of the decision-making I made as a TO. Eventually, you get more confident, and it's like not that big of a deal. But that was an early challenge for me.
Yeah. Were there any specific examples that you can remember off the top of your head of like some of those times where Andrew was like, oh, do this, but you were like doing the opposite?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Only Noobs is a tournament that is a good case study in that. For example, you have like a large bracket or whatever. I thought, and I still think, that it's okay to transition the tournament from a double elimination bracket to a single elimination bracket, because it kind of helps everyone, especially when there's no prize. And things like that, or the concept of doing round robin instead of double elimination bracket. That was like a big thing that I felt. Because as a new player, and I think here was my superpower as a TO, is that I was bad at the game, but good at TOing. And so I had like this perspective of a new player and how awful some of these tournament formats can be if you're just trying to get into it. So I kind of had this perspective that like doesn't make sense if you've been in the scene for a while, but makes a lot of sense if you're just trying to play the game. A classic example is with tournament seeding. I'm sure Nicolette has maybe talked about this before. You see like the best player's number 1, second best player's number 2, whatever. And it's designed so the 2 best players don't play each other until potentially the end. I felt strongly for an Only Noobs kind of tournament that you should make people play each other at their same skill level. So the good players play the good players, the not so good players play the not so good players, and everyone has like an engaging time without like feeling bad about it.
Yeah. I feel that a lot because like with our Silver Surfers softball league, we were playing against some really high quality teams, and then just recently was it this past weekend? I don't know. Really recently, we played a game where it was just Silver Surfers, and we tried to evenly match like the abilities of across the 2 teams that were playing against each other. I mean, it's so much more fun because everyone was around each other's skill level for the most part, and it was like way more engaging, and no one felt like they were getting shut out of the game or had to like be mercy rolled. So.
100%, and like there's like not really stakes to it, so
yeah,
you know, it's just, it feels backwards to have the team of people who maybe are probably too good for the softball league go up against the people who are just getting into it, just trying to have a good time. And
right,
it's,
totally.
Yeah, so that's a hill I've died on before, and that's a great example of, if we're doing it for fun, like let's just make it fun for everyone.
Yeah, and I like that you had your own like perspective on it because you weren't that great at the game. Like that gave you a unique perspective there. But yeah, so I guess like maybe tell me a little bit more about Only Noobs. Like, how did you come up with the idea, and like what was the genesis of that?
So I came up with the idea because I had come across a different tournament that seemed like it had a lot of potential. It was a tournament geared towards new players. And when I first saw that, I'm like, oh my God, this is great. I love this. And then I get there, and then very similar to the softball thing we just said, they're putting me, I guess maybe if we were in grade school, they put an 8th grader against me, like a 2nd grader. And like,
Yeah.
you're not, at some point, you're not good enough to even know how much better the other person is. And there was like some other things like, oh, like, the idea is good, but the execution has a lot of potential. So I think that I finally had enough where I finally found a tournament that sounded like it'd be good for me, and it still like really wasn't. And I was like, you know what? I can't be alone. Like, I know everyone does it this way, but there's no way I'm alone in feeling how intimidating and difficult Melee is for like kind of no reason. Like the idea that you get eliminated if you lose twice, like it still doesn't really compute to me very much, especially if you're putting your time into playing. And so it's kind of like out of not spite, but I was like motivated because I was disappointed that nothing existed. And so, yeah, it was, I think I wrote my dates down because time has flied, but basically, it would have been in 2021, I think. A little bit before mid lane, it was like, you know what? I'm gonna like what we call yoink and twist. It's not as bad as it sounds, but yoinking an idea and twisting it into mine until it's like, you know, I make it my own and whatever. And so I talked to Andrew of this, and we kind of threw ideas back and forth. And I think really what like was the spark that started it all is that we workshopped the name Only Noobs, because this is embarrassing, but sometimes just a name can lead the inspiration for something much bigger. And so with a compelling name and a very opinionated TO on how things could be run, I very similar to what folks are listening to right now, I created a bracket in Start GG. I set up a stream. I only kind of knew the software, but I mean, I've used more complicated things before. And the premise of it, for those who don't know, of Only Noobs, is that the winner of whatever week's Only Noobs is never, ever allowed to play in the tournament again. So even if someone is a little bit too good to play in the tournament, they would be banned forever. And so they can never compete again. And so that was one fun way of keeping the skill level like relatively low. And so we did the first Only Noobs, and that I was worried about not having enough people. It immediately got like 50 people, which was like very good for like an any online tournament. And then it kind of caught wildfire from there. And there's been a lot of like stages of Only Noobs. I definitely kind of I saw the opportunity and I tried to kind of milk the most out of it. So that kind of was a launchpad for a lot of other ideas. So the general premise was, hey, if you're not that great at this game, check it out, join it. We'll pair you with people who are not that good. If you lose like 4 times in a row, that's fine. Guess what? You're still in the bracket. And we banned people for being too good all the time. So that was a pretty compelling offering. And that was the start of what I believe is the longest uninterrupted weekly tournament ever for Smash Bros.
That's great. That's such a huge commitment in your life to have run this. And you also streamed it, right?
Yeah, I also streamed it. The first like 30 or so videos on the YouTube channel was actually, I did a pre-show before Only Noobs. And so I streamed it, but I also kind of made like a Google slide PowerPoint. And I kind of like basically made presentations that I would later edit and then upload. So that's an example of like me trying to get the most out of Only Noobs. Because I knew it, if I have a successful tournament or an attended tournament, people would want to watch it, so I'll make a stream. And then when I had a stream, I'm like, well, if I'm already be on camera talking to people, I think I can like make the content on stream something that would be editable for people to watch like later in the future. So I really took an inch and took or what's the saying? Give me an inch and I'll take a mile. And I really ran really far with that.
That's awesome. I do remember when we were living in Japan, Nicolette would tune in, and it sounded like there were some special episodes as well for like holidays or like, I don't know, or something like that. Like I wasn't really super keyed into it, but it sounded like you did do some very special streams.
Yeah, I think that really just came
or
from
milestones, maybe.
It was
milestone
streams? I kept people on their toes a little bit, so people really didn't know when they would come. But because at that point I had a weekly stream that was getting like 50 plus viewers, whenever I would have an idea that I'd want to try, I'm like, well, I have a built-in audience that are gonna show up anyway. And so that was kind of like around the time I started getting into comedy. And so I was like, well, this will be a fun improv bit, or this will be a fun interactive stream bit. And so there was or like I could do character work. And so a lot of very fun ideas that I had in my head, I was able to like bring to life, because how rare is it to like have a willing and present audience that already likes you, down for you to try things. And that was something that made Only Noobs like really special to me, because it truly was a safe space for me to kind of explore any and everything that I wanted to try.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Like, what made you eventually want to turn it down and actually stop?
I mean, that's a good question. Well, there's a couple of answers. I recognize that things like in the category, I mean, nothing really like truly lasts forever, and so I knew that there would be an endpoint to Only Noobs. And I don't know, 4 years of doing it weekly. I think that there was a point where I was getting a little bit busier and I was exploring some other passions in my life that, dedicating a weekend evening consistently for 4 years straight, you recognize that it is like, you're investing like a huge amount of time into it. Like I was spending so much time on Melee, and I wasn't even playing Melee. Like I wasn't even like really getting much better, right? It's like kind of like, yeah. So like at some point, like, okay, I can't do this like forever. And I also, okay, this is gonna sound a little bit wild. but I also wanted to make sure that I had outlasted all of my contemporaries. Because I had a lot of haters with Only Noobs, and a lot of people that really tried discouraging me, because people who ran other tournaments. Because as I had mentioned earlier, a lot of people just like didn't respect or get why I was doing things different, and so a lot of people didn't take kindly to it. And I also wanted to make sure that I could truly outlast all of them, because at the end of the day, none of those people were still around, and so I was the only one doing it, and anyone else that was still trying to do it, they were not finding the same success. And so at that point, I was like, you know what? I've kind of in my head won the category. I feel like this is a huge accomplishment. 200 was a nice number, and in 2024, I finally decided to free up my Tuesday evenings for the first time ever, which is, I'll have to say, I was doing this instead of going to my own locals in Chicago. So there was a lot of things that were going into it, but yeah, I don't know. It was a good time. I felt like I had won in every way that made sense to me, and I don't know. I was kind of at the top of it, so had to do it, and I think the timing was right.
Yeah. Did you ever consider a succession plan where someone else would take over Only Noobs for you and continue, or was it always just kind of like a passion project of your own that you wanted to just wrap up and have it be done?
That's a question I got a lot, and I got a lot of, I don't know what the right word is, not suitors, but a lot of people in my DMs that were interested in taking it over. And the egotistical answer to that is I didn't really trust anyone to maintain the vision that I had, and to treat it as well. I just feel like it would, the last thing I want to do is hand it off and then have it slowly die. If I was going to slowly die, I'd rather just do it myself. And so I think that I'd built up so much goodwill and so much of a brand, because Only Noobs definitely became a brand at some point.
Yeah, you had merch, right?
I had fan merch. A lot
Oh,
of it wasn't
fan merch,
a lot of
okay.
it wasn't even, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't even my doing. People were that's the level it was at some point. And so I did not trust myself to pass it along, or I didn't trust the other people that could have done it to honor it in a way. And at some point, if I spend 4 years building something, I think this is probably natural. It's going to be really hard to peel it away from someone.
Yeah.
Especially when I feel like I've been an outlier in terms of how I want to run things. There was an era of netplay tournaments where the expectation was all right, we should start paying our TOs. All these tournaments that were free, let's start charging $5 a head. And I'm oh my god, that doesn't make any sense. Yes, TOs deserve compensation or whatever, but you can't. But even that, two things could be true. Yes, they should be compensated, but there also needs to be something that people are willing to pay for. And a lot of people went the paid route, and all the tournaments died very quickly. And so there was a lot of contrary decisions that were being made, and I would hate to see someone turn Only Noobs into something that, I'm making it sound like such a big deal, but I built it up. It was mine. I'm okay. I brought it into this world, and I was more than okay taking it out.
We have a clarifying question from chat. Were there paid netplay brackets? Is that what you meant? The people were charging for netplay brackets?
Oh, 100%. I don't have the stream open. But yes, there was an era, and other people, hopefully in chat, can back me up. There was the Kadaran training mode Tuesdays, where they switched over to payment for a while. There was, I'm forgetting the Slumlord, tournament, not the salt shed, the salt bracket or whatever. That one also transitioned to being paid, and there was others across the coast. And for like, okay, it was so funny. They started charging for brackets. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I don't care what you do. And then I think the Slippy program that lets you play with people online, they introduced their own competitive game mode, and then that completely wiped that category of tournaments that had been around for a while, that ceased to exist.
Oh, wow. I did not know this lore.
It was a weird time, but there was like a trend on Twitter of like, yeah, TOs do deserve to get paid because it's a lot of work and they spend all this
Yeah.
time and whatever, which is like, it is valid, but I get so much out of running only noobs, or I was getting so much just running only noobs, that like the money was not like remotely like part of the equation.
Mm.
And here's a funny anecdote. Anyone who had played only noobs or had watched my stream might know I only had like one rule in my stream, and that was under no circumstances are you allowed to subscribe to my channel. And unfortunately, I couldn't like disable that the affiliate program because I needed access to the prediction feature, and
Yeah.
so like truly like the direction a lot of TOs went, I like was going nearly the exact opposite direction, where I like, to me, like there's for the same reason why Botlane is not charging the same amount as mid lane paid or costs. Like it probably just doesn't make that much sense. And I mean, for some people they need the money and that's fine or whatever. But if it's not absolutely necessary, let's just have a good time and not worry about the money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Kind of pivoting a little bit, but I think there's like apparently there is a connection, seeded from Nicolette, that there is a connection between only noobs and the history of mid lane. So I'm kind of curious what connection there is, and if you could elaborate on that.
Yeah, I think. Okay, let me be careful on how I answer this one because I want I want all the pieces to be there. I am going to first. I think it's important to know that because I think people are familiar with mid lane if you're in the stream, and some background history about mid lane, which I think is kind of important, is Andrew and I moved in together at the very end of 2019, and right before that, the weekly that was before mid lane, it was at a different place on Wednesdays. It was called Near Mint Games. The old weekly, it died. So the old weekly died. We moved in, and we started running tournaments out of our apartment. And we'd come across mid lane at the time, and then COVID happened. And so there was a point in time, and I want to say, I wrote these dates down, and then I cannot find them. But yeah, so once things kind of started opening again, the mid lane venue was still available. And so, you know what? This tangent is not going to connect the way I wanted to. We'll get back to that
No
later.
worries.
But essentially, a few months before we were able to get back into the mid lane venue, I had started Only Noobs. And Only Noobs, like I had mentioned before, was big on not having a double elimination bracket where if you lose more than twice, it's totally fine. And so me and Andrew, we were spending like a disproportionate amount of time together. And so we were just talking about how to run tournaments, ideas, whatever. And so the earliest versions of mid lane, I would like to say, was like fairly heavily influenced by Only Noobs. Because Only Noobs, if you look at the first mid lane and you look at really most Only Noobs, the format's actually like strikingly similar. Kevin made a couple of great adjustments to it, but the same minds that were behind Only Noobs were also the same minds behind mid lane. And there were certain features in there that like are definitely related. And if you want to trace it further, Only Noobs was inspired by another event that me and Andrea had run called the Smashler, which I have a soft spot for. But yeah, so yeah.
Inspired by the Onceler?
No, it's inspired by The Bachelor.
Oh, The Bachelor. Okay, I was
What's
like,
the
that'd be
Onceler,
wild.
Okay,
I don't
what is that?
entirely know. The Onceler's like, I don't know. I've seen this fandom or something. It's this one character with the Lorax or Dr. Seuss wiki. It's just what my ADHD brain went to.
No, it's not as cool as that. When I moved in with Andrew, I like he had the organizing. He had like the melee experience, and I had the organizing. Like he had the melee stuff, I didn't. But I was watching The Bachelor a lot. I'm like, hey Andrew, I have a pitch for this house tournament that we can run, and he gave me like a lot of creative freedom, and so I kind of had I would say like the creative director of this early tournament called the Smashler, that we'd run out of our apartment. It still had round robin pools, non-elimination, and it was awesome. It was in my bachelor phase and like the TV show, and that like definitely worked well. And so I brought that into Only Noobs, and then we definitely borrowed a couple of elements when we started Botlane.
Nice. Did you hand out roses, or how was it inspired?
Oh, you would have loved it. We did hand out roses, and we did. We went to Goodwill. Well, I don't know why I'm saying we. I went to Goodwill, and we found like a bunch of like suit jackets and like sports coats and whatever. And so we would do like a photo shoot every week, and like everyone would be dressed up like we give them a blazer or whatever. And so there's roses, there's Polaroids. On Valentine's Day, we did a surprise. Instead of doing like 1v1, we instead paired people like randomly, and like we basically turned them into couples, and we made the couples compete. And so like that was super fun. And there's like a bunch of other like Bachelor infused moments and ideas that were in it. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I would have loved to have seen that. I love anything with like dressing up though.
Yeah, you know what? I have a box of Polaroids of basically anyone who walked through that door. I'll have to dig it out because we probably look like babies in comparison, but it was super cute.
That's awesome. So kind of pivoting as well, like how did you get into commentary?
Oh, okay. So I think to answer that question, we go a little bit back to Only Noobs. Only Noobs is kind of the genesis of a lot of all the things I do today. How'd I get into it? I never like had the intention of like, oh, I'm gonna be the kind of person who makes goals about commentating at XYZ events or being paid or invited or flown out to places. That wasn't really the idea, but I was the commentator for Only Noobs, the biggest online tournament and stream for so long. I think that I had just built like a little bit of like a reputation, and then when bigger events started happening, when lockdowns had become less frequent, I would just be asked by people who are producing events. I'm going to assume because they know that I have been in front of a camera and a microphone, and there's like a level of professionalism compared to asking some random person. And so it was an artifact of the era of my life when I was kind of saying yes to every opportunity, just because I was able to. And so I got asked to do commentary at like some small events, and that went well. And then people saw that, and they're like, well, we should invite you to this regional event that's like a state over. And that went well or whatever. And so it was more it happened kind of naturally, and I didn't really intend to find myself commentating at like the major events, but through Only Noobs, I've learned to really love and appreciate entertaining people, talking to people, and I've had enough reps at it. And I don't know, it is something that Only Noobs kind of allowed me the platform to do it. And then when it came time to make decisions for like bigger events, they've come back to me over and over again. Certainly some of it is I've continued, and like I think part of the reason why I continue to do it is I do think Melee commentary does have a diversity issue. A lot of the commentator rosters kind of have a samey sort of the feel to them, and so I'm always happy to kind of be representative of underrepresented types of people, and I do hope that it leaves the door open for other, I'll just say like minorities, in these commentary events, because I do think that representation really does matter, and you don't need that much of it either for it to like make a difference. And so I will continue doing it, but I also want to make sure the door's open for other people, because something me and Nicolette have talked about for a while is things have somehow, it felt like it's gone backwards a little bit in terms of diversity of voices and POVs, especially for commentary. And so I don't want it to necessarily be the default for certain events, and I want to make sure other people get opportunities to be represented. So hopefully, by me being there, it's still leaving the door open for new and diverse voices.
Yeah, totally. Are there any events that you would love to commentate that you haven't already yet?
Oh, this sounds so bad. I've commentated. I don't know. I've commentated like the best events, the biggest and best events. So it would be like smaller events that I somehow haven't been able to. I would love to commentate. Oh, I don't know. There was like a turn. No, I think. Like a few weeks ago, there was like a tournament in like an Airbnb rental. Like they rented a castle or something. That would have been cool. But like, I mean, I'd be making up like opportunities that I'd want to. I've been very fortunate to have had the trajectory that I've had. And so I think, you know what? I think that I would want to commentate. I want to go bigger, or like more broader. Maybe like a Nintendo event or like a Smash event, or I don't know, like maybe not Smash Brothers, but maybe two people boxing. Like get bigger. I don't know.
Yeah, expand on the different genres.
Yeah, different ways of people fighting each other. I don't know. Like I could go anywhere with it, but I would say my bucket list for commentating is I've been very lucky to have done the events I have.
Yeah, it sounds like you've closed your TO chapter, but are you closed on your kind of commentating chapter, or is that still kind of very much open? And
well, let's not get it twisted. I'm not closing any doors necessarily. I think that there's like a certain set of conditions where I would TO again. But for commentary, there's like this commentary is a part of a kind of a batshit crazy plan that I've kind of made back in the Only Noobs day, where I was like, I'm gonna do Only Noobs. It's gonna be a platform, and it's gonna create this like flywheel effect, where I get opportunities to try new things and express myself and perform. And so the door's still open for commentary. I'm available if you're listening and you're hosting an event. But it's part of this greater plan to further dip my toes in entertaining people and making people laugh and expressing myself. Because commentary is very adjacent to a lot of other things I do outside of Melee. And so I mean, it's hard to retire from commentary because, like, well, what is commentary? Like, we're doing commentary right now. So that one is probably kind of. I don't know. We're talking. We're doing a voiceover over something else. we're not
That's true.
talking about it.
We're yapping.
We're yapping, and a lot of commentary kind of just ends up about yapping anyway. Like they should be watching the event, but sometimes the commentators just yap. And so I feel really bad for forgetting the original question, but door is kind of closed for TOing, maybe not completely. But commentating is something that if people will still have me, I'll be happy to go to your events.
Nice. Okay. There's a funny comment. Tori never talks about the game.
Tori never talks about the game? Okay, yeah, I want to ask you about that later.
Yeah, this is true. I really don't know. I'm like, I don't know. There's like a puff and a. Is that? I'm not even sure what those characters are. Peach? Because she's wearing a purple dress, so I'm not even sure what's going on stream.
That could be
and
anything.
There's little shy guys like running around too. It's like, are those fighting? Can you fight those? It would just be a disaster if I was commentating, frankly. So
you just have to play you just have to play it to your strengths, right? Like they'll pair you up with someone who is looking at the game, and it's everyone has a role, and I wouldn't stress it.
Yeah. That's good. What do you think makes good commentary?
Oh, okay. This one is gonna be any answer I give is gonna be controversial.
Well, I think it's also personal preference, right? Like it's just what makes good commentary to one person is not the same as what it is for another person. So I think whatever you say is fair.
I think commentary is tricky because you can't quite map like sports commentary super directly to Melee. There's just certain things that just like don't match up the right way. I think good commentary is, I would define it as if I opened up a stream for some event that I knew nothing about. That these commentators can get me invested and interested in it, and that there isn't like so much technical jargon, and that I'm not totally lost, and that these commentators are aware that they're still live on stream, and they're making whatever's on screen a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people's first exposure to Melee is probably opening up like Twitch.tv and looking at a tournament. So I think something that represents the game well, explains it well. Like you can't over-explain the fundamentals like too much in Melee commentary. And it's just like context aware of the event that they're in, right? Like if it's a super button-up event, then make sure that context is like front and center. If this is the first time this tournament's ever been run and it's at a bar, it doesn't hurt to kind of mention that and keep that in mind. But also, keep it professional enough where you're not embarrassed to look back at it again. That said, every commentator in Melee has like a legion of like fans and haters. Like it's just it is so personal preference, and that is something nobody can agree on in the Melee world. That one might be like the most contentious topic probably in Melee. Is like, what is a good commentator? I know that like some people really like me, some people don't get it, and that's totally okay because usually it's not just me up there. But I don't know. It needs to be approachable, and it needs to be self-aware enough of where we are and what we're doing and why this game is important, the one that we're watching.
Yeah, as you're speaking, it really reminded me of the Olympics and how they commentate that because for a lot of times it's like, oh, you only think about ice skating once every 4 years or whatnot.
Right.
And so it's like you don't know really what a triple axel is or like what the other terms that they're using are, but they're talking about them. And so they do explain them once in a while, which is really helpful to like bring people into the sport. And then they also, I think, talk about the athletes and like their journeys. And I think that that's another really interesting part because it gives like the actual individual performances a lot of more weight because kind of like what their hero's journey was to get to that point.
Yeah, 100%. I love that example of the Olympics. Like it helps you get invested with them, right? Like if
totally
you hear about their background, and also Olympics is such a good example actually because a lot of things you're right you don't ever think about once every 4 years, and some things in the Olympics don't look that impressive, and like you kind of need someone to be like, hey, what that person did, like literally no one's ever done before. And Smash has a lot of things like that too, that like don't look hard or crazy, but was like a once in a very rare moment. And like people, the viewers will get it if you tell someone that something's important and unique. They trust you. Um,
Mhm.
and so yeah, I like that approach, but it's obviously my POV is very colored by someone who's still kind of on the outside, who might still be trying to get into Melee for the first time.
Mm, yeah, totally. And then you also another thing that you mentioned was that like each commentator has a legion of haters and fans. What are some of your favorite commentators?
Oh, okay. I I mean, I haven't worked with all the commentators, um, but I've worked with, I would say, most. I think as a person who is on the couch watching and maybe listening, there's two commentators, Toph and Scar. They seem to just have this like friendship and relationship that it makes you feel like you're watching along with some friends because they're just
Mm.
so they have such good chemistry. Um, and yeah, I don't know. There's Spinda is someone who I think is a little bit maybe unknown for people who like are really casual into Melee, but I think Spinda's a wonderful commentator. Um, I would say like all of them I've met, they're all like good people. They're all human. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I would say those three I just said, Spinda, Toph, and Scar, are people that and I'll be honest, like if I'm not at an event and I'm watching it on stream, sometimes I watch it on mute. Maybe because I'm multitasking or whatever. Or I mean,
Yeah.
and what I said is not that controversial. But if like I know they're commentating, like there's a good chance I turn it up.
Mm, that's awesome. Okay, well, I think those are all the questions that I had prepared for you today. The only other thing that I kind of have prepared aside from, well, I guess is like picking your melee character. I don't know if I got a great sense of like which character you play because you were really good about like not really talking about that as much. Or maybe I was
Yeah,
just bad about asking about like your gameplay.
I mean we did
Um,
we talked about everything except for playing the game.
yeah, that's true. Bad commentator. That's my bad. That's my bad.
No,
I'll
it's
own
all
up to
good.
that. But yeah, I guess like could you tell me a little bit about your play style? Or maybe who your favorite like your favorite players are, but don't tell me what their characters are so I can guess like a sense.
I feel like it's gonna be hard to uh that's a hard ask because if I say my favorite players, that could suppose that. But I do think that
I'm gonna tell
uh,
you, I don't even know what Mango plays.
yeah, okay, but here's the thing. Like I think uh we know each other a lot more than you and Mango know each other. So I think maybe outside of this interview, because I think the people in chat probably know. So you might be the only person who might not know. So like,
Okay.
if you want to pull in just like outside data points, because you
Got
know me a
it.
little bit, yeah. Like, what do you think based on what you know?
Honestly, okay, based on what I know, I'm gonna go with Fox just because Fox has some like headset situation that kind of looks like a broadcaster, and that's what I'm gonna guess.
No, you're cooking. I'm wearing like I'm hooked up to wires and microphones and
Yeah.
all that. No, I am a princess.
Oh shit!
Yeah, no, yeah, it'll make sense. It makes sense when you think about it, but I love Princess Peach. It's like, yeah, Fox is like a better character, wins more, but I'm telling you, Tori, there's nothing cooler than beating someone with like the most like princess, feminine, just like girl power. Like beating anybody with Peach feels so much better than beating that person with any other character.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much because like this whole time I've been rooting for like the lesser known character, well not lesser known player characters, but like maybe just like less played characters. And I think Peach is probably up there in terms of like I mean, I'm rooting for Pichu, right? But I think Peach is a little bit more popular than Pichu. But yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, you got Falco, you got Fox, you got whatever Zelda again is. What is that one? Smith? What?
Smith, yeah.
No,
Zelda transforms into Smith. That's the alias.
Making my new characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
no.
I love that you're a Peach.
Yeah, and Peach is like a classic underdog character, but she's not so much of an underdog that it's like embarrassing.
Impossible to play, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, those are all my questions. I think you had some questions for me.
Yeah, if you're down, I
Totally.
would love to ask you a couple of questions, just like things that have popped into my head as a viewer of this stream that I think that maybe other people might be interested in. Let me pull up my notes. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, yeah. So, I don't know if you even introduced yourself, but you're Tori.
Yeah.
And so you're not someone who is like, directly into the melee scene, but you're with someone who is where melee is a huge part of a melee is a huge part of Nicolette's life, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to know what is your relationship with melee? Because it's clear that you're somewhat of an outsider from the people you've talked to, but yeah, I want to know about you specifically and your relationship to melee.
Yeah, so I guess it has to start when Nicolette and I moved in together in Tokyo. I was paying rent, my portion of rent on a place, and we had a whole closet dedicated to CRTs on carts for Nicolette to run her Tower Mansion tournament. And so I would say from that point on, I was definitely a melee ally. So that's how it started. And I guess I have been to one mid lane before it ended, and so that was pretty cool. I saw a lot of my Silver Surfer friends, and I've also played softball with some of the Silver Surfers, and that's also really cool too. So I know a couple people in the community, but I don't play the game at all. I'm still learning the characters. If you put a controller in my hand, I wouldn't know where the buttons are. Or I wouldn't know what buttons were to be pressed in which order. And I still don't know what wave dashing is really. So very much a newbie to the game, but a supporter, and obviously I love my wife, so want to help her out with these interviews.
Yeah, no, that's great. I don't know if it was super clear that you're so close to melee, but also don't actively play in it, and whatnot. And I do wonder and because you've been to one mid lane, and I wanted to pick your brain on as say a partner or a supporter of someone who plays melee, what was that like? Was it what you thought it was going to be like? Was there something you thought that was maybe missing?
Well, for a lot of Wednesdays, I gotta be honest, it was just me waiting at home for Nicolette to come home from the tournament. So it would be 11 o'clock midnight, and I'm like, we got work tomorrow, or I have work tomorrow, can you come home? But when I actually went to mid lane, it was really fun. There were a lot of great people that I got to see and hang out with and say hi to, and everyone was really welcoming. So I really echo the sentiment. I think Kevin did such a good job, and all frankly everyone who's organizing there did such a great job about building community, because I know that was something that Jess emphasized in her interview. And so I think they've done such a great job about making sure it's welcoming to anyone who walks in those doors. And if I did have a single video game bone in my body, I probably would have picked up a controller and at least tried to play a friendly or something with someone. So, but I'm just really not gifted with the controller.
No, that's great. I guess my follow-up question is, sorry, I'm texting someone.
You're good.
So, context, I am trying to make a marketplace, Facebook marketplace transaction, and I missed this person's text.
Oh no.
But it's fine. I just need to, you know what? Okay. This person can wait.
Wait, what are we buying? What are we buying?
Tori, if you knew what it was, you would think I'm insane. But let me text. I need to send this address really quick. Because if I drop this transaction of a lifetime, you're both gonna kill me.
Wait, I need to know what this is. We're all invested. Is it more Yu-Gi-Oh cards? We've got a question in chat.
No, it is significantly crazier than that. 637. I'm gonna dox
Wait,
my neighbor.
don't dox yourself.
That's my neighbor.
Oh my god. We're going off the rails, chat. Any questions for Kadence tonight?
No, I have a question for you. I'm not done with you.
Okay.
I'm literally having this person call and go to my neighbor's house to deal with this. That's how committed I am. But I need to text the number. 36. Yeah. Okay.
Blah 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 blah. Try not to dox you.
No, I'm not. I'm doxing my neighbor. It's different. My neighbor is home. Okay, so I think to follow up that question, I wanted to ask, like, you mentioned you don't have like a video game bone in your body, but like, what is your melee?
Whoa, what is my melee? I think my melee would be tabletop role-playing games. That's generally what takes up a lot of my time. I love playing. I think most people know of like Dungeons and Dragons, but I played 5.5 years of that, and I'm pretty much done with that system. So I have a lot of other games that I play that are more like independent publishers and things like that. One of the maybe more famous ones is like Blades in the Dark, that people might have heard of. But yeah, I like it's fun to play D&D. I really appreciate it. Like when you want to become this like very powerful character that like really saves the world and like fights gods at the end. But I think there's a lot more like nuance when you're kind of the underdog, and like there's other systems that I think scale really well with that, or like explore those kinds of stories too. So that's why I just tend to prefer non-D&D TTRPGs. But yeah.
So is it like anything but D&D when it comes to your
yeah, kind of. I know. I feel bad because like I think most people are like, oh, add me to your D&D group, but I'm like, yeah, I don't really play that anymore. And they did some nonsense with like licensing and like some stuff like that like Wizards of the Coast really kind of botched. So I'm not like a super fan of that anymore. But yeah, it's a cool genre of games to play in. And if D&D is your cup of tea, like that's awesome. Love that for you. Like please keep enjoying. It's just not my cup of tea anymore.
Yeah, no, let us know if the viewers, when you're done with D&D, let us know.
It's just Inca's onto Pathfinder now. Yeah.
But it
Pathfinder's crunchy.
It kind of sucks because like D&D is like the common language. Like most people who are down for non-D&D games are probably also you'd find them through D&D related channels. But,
totally. There's a really great, for folks in the Chicagoland area, there's a really great group called Wizard Staffing Co. And they're on Instagram and on like Eventbrite and stuff like that. But they run tabletop role-playing games, including Dungeons and Dragons, all throughout the city, all throughout the year. So there's D&D tables, there's going to be Shadow Dark tables, there's going to be all kinds of different tables. And it's beginners are welcome, and it's just a really great time. So highly recommend if you don't have anyone to play with, or you've wanted to like join in and try out a new system. That's like such a great way to do that. It's usually about like $25 for 4 hours, so it's really reasonable, and just like an awesome time.
Yeah, no, that's great. I feel like a lot of people may not even realize that there's like an entire ecosystem beyond like the D&D system. In some ways, it almost reminds me a little bit how like Smash Ultimate is like the de facto like Smash game. But like if you ask a lot of people, they'll play like any Smash game except for Smash Ultimate. Like except for the mainstream one, like a lot of like Melee players will be down for. But yeah, it is interesting living in I don't want to say like a minority of like you're in a smaller part of this like larger pie that is tabletop role-playing games.
Oh yeah, totally. It's kind of like a little bit more niche. But I think there's so much to be said for like the independent publishers, and I mean, there's still like massive publishers that make a lot of money off of these games, but they're just not like the juggernaut that D&D is.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And it's nice. It's nice not to like directly support some of these mega corporations. Like they don't really need any more money. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like what I had. I just kind of wanted to paint a brief picture of your perspective, because it's pretty different from most people you'd see or hear on a Melee stream. So thank you for that.
Yeah, that's true. Probably no one knows this game less than I do.
Like that's what I was thinking. I'm like, if I didn't know Tori, then I'd be so confused how this person got in this situation.
Yeah, how I ended up on comms. Yeah, I don't. My wife just asked, and I said, she said jump, and I said how high. That's how we got here. So.
I love it. So good.
Yeah, but I guess we can turn it over to chat now and see if there's any questions that folks have, either for Kadence or for me. I guess if you want to to go that route, I'm happy to answer.
Nothing's off limits. Go wild.
Okay, we have a Saffron question. Yeah, okay. No, don't have chat open. I'll ask the question. Saffron question for Kadence. How has your deep relationship with novice culture affected your perception or patience towards learning other skills and hobbies like comedy or commentary?
Well, that's a good one. I will say my novice perspective. Okay, I'm gonna be real, guys. Melee is harder than being funny. It's harder than commentary. I don't know how anyone is playing this game. It is so difficult, but a lot of people, it's hard to compare it because, say like improv comedy for a second, there's like so many people who are getting into it or are new to it or who are trying it, and so that helps a lot because it's easy to find a class that has like new people around it. But with Melee, since it's kind of like niche at this point, it's hard to find people that haven't been doing it forever. And so I think the energies are like a little bit different, and there's definitely like not a need for beginner-friendly open mics or like open stages or things like that. I do think that if you try to get good at Melee and you can figure out how to improve at it, it will help you get good at anything else. Because I do think that Melee is so difficult that if you could figure it out, then you'll be able to take that kind of mindset and framework and apply it elsewhere. So that's not exactly what you asked, but there's really just not a need for like a novice POV for a lot of the other entertaining style things that I do.
Awesome. We've also got DevDog just saying, Kadence, I miss you.
I'll tell DevDog that I miss them too. And also, I could have brought it up when you were asking about the end of Only Noobs, but DevDog has been running a tournament for probably a little bit longer than me at this point. Maybe not uninterrupted, we'll see. But nonetheless, is having the last Waddle Wednesday, and for the editor, insert the correct date here. And you should definitely join it because, at one point it was just me and Dev, and now it's just Dev. And I don't know who's going to be the next great TO, online TO. Maybe it's Nicolette, maybe someone else. But yeah, I miss you too, Dev. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in a cabin with a bunch of twin-sized mattresses with no sheets.
That sounds freaky. Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be so freaky. It's gonna be crazy.
Like without the Smash Camp at the end, I was just like, I don't know where this is going. That's fine. Okay, we have one more question, which is from Saffron. Which Only Noobs finals was your favorite? No bias. Please do not consider the fact that I showed my now partner of 2.5 years my Only Noobs final on our second date. Oh.
Follow-up question: is your now partner of 2 years? Are they in the room with us right now? If you don't respond in like 5 seconds, then I'm just gonna be honest.
No response yet. Saffron, get to typing. Okay, no, the partner is not in the room.
Okay, then I'll be real. You know what? There was a Kirby player, King Poyo, underdog, really kind of started from the bottom, and I'll be honest, I don't even remember who King Poyo was playing against, but it didn't matter because I have never seen a chat fully behind a character whose main gimmick is sucking up the other character, and it was a Cinderella moment or a David and Goliath moment. I don't know. I haven't seen either of those, but I think that the low tiers were really good. I feel like I'm cheating because I can't even tell you the other person. I do think
I think it was a Puff, apparently. Kirby versus Puff.
that's even crazier.
It was SRM13.
It's crazy that anyone knows this.
Saffron's killing it.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. So
It's on deck.
it's tough because like I haven't had to think about this for a while. I think OG Kid winning Only Noobs 100. That was a crazy finals only because OG Kid was a child that a literal child that was like not really on the radar yet, and they had won like there's like 350 people on that week's Only Noobs, and so
when you say child, like how what are we talking here?
Like not old enough to go to events yet, I think.
Like 16?
Probably around that age, maybe. I mean, I don't. It's not. I don't care too much about the details, but it was
right.
A prodigal, like a player that no one had talked. Like the thing is, no matter how bad or good you are, if you beat like 200 other people in a tournament, that is notable. Even if it's
you're
like,
on someone's radar.
Even if it's like, a bunch of 90-year-olds, and you get 290-year-olds to play, and someone, like whoever wins that tournament, like that is notable at that point, right? Because that doesn't happen accidentally. And so that was a cool moment to see a player who no one had really heard about at the time win a huge tournament and then go on to become a top 100 player.
Whoa, they're a top 100 player now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and people have said or hypothesized that people that were playing in Only Noobs, like they are the future, like best players, right? Like the best player of the future can very easily or likely be someone who had played in Only Noobs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other? We have a lot of King Poyo love in the chat.
Yeah, no, that's a popular one.
That's a cool name. I like it. But I think that's everything. Is there anything that you wanted to plug before we let you go?
Yeah. So I am working a couple of Smash events that I don't know if they're like fully confirmed, so I don't want to necessarily say that yet. But if you have liked all of the character work and zany things I've done in the Only Noob streams in the past, and you're in Chicago, I'm a part of a very funny sketch comedy show at IO Theater, and I am performing June 18th. And we're well in the writing process, and I have some pretty fun and things that I think people would be excited about, sorts of sketches. So find me if you're interested in seeing Only Noobs live, except there's no Melee and it's just me and a bunch of other people. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I'll be at Melee events. And I just want to say thank you for you and Nicolette for putting this together. This is so awesome that you're spending your time doing this. Kind of for the community, right? Like, it's not much gain other than just doing it for the greater Melee world. So yeah, thank you for having me on. And yeah, is there a way you sign off?
No, we usually just say that there's commentary coming soon.
Okay, let me do it. Thank you for watching Botlane number 7. I've been Cadence. This is Tori, and we're taking you to the top 8 of the tournament.
Yay! Thanks everyone for tuning in. Stay tuned for your top 8. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Holy glitch method. This guy just hit 5 shots in a row. Is Notch actually, unironically, the best Falco that I've never seen play at a LAN? Also, can we just blame Rocks for not showing up? This dude would rather go to a dinner with his brother than hang out with your boy. I haven't seen him in like 3 weeks. It should be mandatory that I'm more important than family. I thought this matchup was supposed to be impossible. Nah. Wait! Notch might actually be the most nasty Falco in CLM and GL. I would do that too, GG. You gotta go back, you gotta go back. Dude, he's icing him out. I know this tech skill. You take as long as you humanly need to decide on the next stage so you kill the player that's winning the momentum. You just... This is the move, trust. You wait for him to call the clock. His hands start getting cold. You've been blowing air on your hands the whole time so they stay warm. And now you can start winning games. Watch. Are we doing a hand warmer mid-set? What's going on? Holy... Wait. Wait, I told you it's actually real. It's a... Oh, that was a mind melter. Does anyone else have trouble seeing the green Falco on the stage? Bro, why is it so vibrant? What? I swear to God, Pokemon Stadium's actually like dark green, not light green. Bro, we just died to 2 moves. Falco's the worst character in the game. Hold up. Nah, we just added that's the ink shorten. Wait, he's mechanicking. Bro, by the way, can we mandatory change the slippy tags? Bro, imagine trying to glaze someone, cleanest Falco I've seen in a minute, and this dude's tag is smear my pants 6'7". What are we talking about? Hold up. Clean edge guard right here. Nah. This wraps. I would have done that there too. Yeah. GG. Wait! The double reverse laser? That's a mental mix-up. Yeah, I would have sent that. Oh, wait, he's clean as fuck. No bias, by the way, no bias. Ferocity's off the box, so, like, low-key, I'm pretty sure. I'm 90% sure. 95, actually. Bro, that... What? Up air? Nah, that was a glitch. Wait, dash dancing? He watched a new Squid video. Take back air insta shine. It's different. I'm telling you, that was the ice out tech, by the way. Legit, that was the ice out tech. And now, if your opponent is tilted, they instantly go back instantaneously, and then you take another game. And then the final layer is on your opponent's last counter pick. They ice you out, and then you lose. That's the final layer. This stage is ass, bro. I'm pretty sure if you get grabbed on the stage as the bird, you die. Or wait, hold up.
Hey there, can you hear me all right?
Yo!
Awesome, what's up, Ink?
What's going on?
Velocity Notch. I think, did they play early in bracket, do you know? I don't think so.
I think they did. I'll check right now.
Yeah,
I'm like,
for sure. This is going to be a tough draw. I mean, it was down, Notch was down, what, 2-0, right? So this is kind of bringing it back, but game 4 in FD, I mean, you're going to get chain grabbed, right? You know that. You're the Falco.
That's just what everyone does now. It's insane. Like, back in my day, if you had that, like, you were kind of nasty.
You were built different, yeah. Have you played Ferocity before or just Fry?
I've played friendlies against Ferocity, but I've only played in tournament against Fry.
Okay, 6-6. Yeah, I mean, Ferocity plays definitely different, I would say. Definitely still willing to go for the chain grabs, but I feel like a little more aggressive than Fry would be, with all due respect to Fry.
Yeah.
Cleaning it up so far, 3 stacks to 2. I think we've got relaxing in grands, right? Beat the Peach Gauntlet, excuse me. I think, I'm not sure what the set count with Fry was. I think 2-1, and then, or maybe 3-1. 3-1 Fry, and then I think 3-0 Ferocity. Kind of running that Puff Peach into grand finals.
3-0? Holy shit.
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, which is crazy. But I know Peach Puff kind of infamously a bit egregious, but I'm prepared for a potentially, 30 to 50 minute grand finals if it goes to it. But
hey, Relaxer might be the net play GOAT. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, it's their ecosystem, right? Like, they're naturally always there, so it makes sense they're locked in. Not just still doing pretty well, but 97 to 148, 3 stocks to 2. That is kind of tricky to come back from. That might be a kill if we don't see a crazy Peach stall. Oh, there we go. Not even a stall, just an update. Now, when you're down as Falco, what are you usually thinking in this scenario? Are you fishing for the kill at 163?
Oh,
Are you playing it
1000%. I'm throwing
Yeah.
out a forward tilt, a down tilt, a forward smash. There, I'm not thinking at all. I'm thinking
Okay, get the hit, get the
Deletion.
knockdown. Yeah, just literally get the kill. That's pretty much what it's about. Ooh, air dodges to avoid the grab. Although at 137, you're not. Oh, sorry, the down smash. Sometimes that happens. You get down smash and you go flying. Okay, good pillars. Notch actually has really good pillars from what I saw. I don't know if you saw Notch versus, I think it was Gunis.
Wait, has this kid ever gone to a mid lane? How have I never seen this person before?
I think, okay, he said, I was talking to him maybe 2 weeks ago, or maybe last week we were commentating. He's been to one mid lane, and then it ended, so he hasn't been able to go to more. But okay, even game, wow. Really bringing it up. You gotta show up the CLM softball. CLM softball does seem like the move. It's just, I have the coordination of, like, literally a child who's never played sports. But, okay, even game. Literally just needs to get a nice down air or even, like, some more percent in back air. Okay. Oh, wow. Just needs to play it safe.
This is actually this is actually an even. What?
Sure.
Oh my
Okay.
god, the quadruple background
Game
shield.
five. I'm quickly becoming a Notch believer. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, Ferocity has to do the tech. He has
What
to do the
stage?
tech.
I don't even know what stage we have left. I hopped in a little late, but we'll see where we end up. FD, I mean, to win on FD, you're already winning on the counter pick, so that's a good establishment to kind of go with. Good foundation. Okay, back to FD. Makes sense. Classic pick. I feel
Would you,
like
have,
Frosty,
would you have went back? I low-key would have went back.
I feel like I'm a little bit of a switcher upper. Like if
Isn't Dreamland good?
if I lose on a stage, yes. Maybe wary of the lasers. Maybe they've already played there. I'm not entirely sure how the set's gone, but really bringing the chain grabs in this time. At least in the second half of the second game, or the previous game, excuse me. Wasn't really hitting them, but 131%. Yeah, at that
What
point.
the fuck? Nah, this was like a hustle or some shit. He didn't chain grab him at all last game. What the fuck was that?
Right, it's like you keep your X Factor.
Right?
and then-
What? What are these
Literally.
layers, bro? What? There's no fucking way we're doing this type of shit, bro.
Ooh.
And now he's gonna hit every chain grab? Nah. This was a
Yeah.
hustle. This was legit a hustle.
That's a
Nah.
rough one.
Check the disc. This needs to be replayed. That's fucked up.
It sucks because this is literally off of just a misspaced or maybe an unsafe approaching dare. Like, it's one of those things where you think you can catch them and you miss it and you just die for it, which is brutal sometimes.
This is why I said the
Frosty's been
stage was
there.
broken.
Frosty's been there. Frosty's been, I would say, like, historically top maybe 10, top 5 in Chicago for a number of years. So, I mean, when it comes to game 5s, I'm sure they've been more familiar. Yeah, the pillar doesn't link. This might be, I believe in Notch, but this might be GG's for this game because Warsock's the one. Sometimes sometimes you have those close game 4s, and it's really hard to keep that momentum into game 5 with how much energy you burn, just hitting that back air, that down air, and trying to close it out.
I don't even make it that far in tournament to be even playing game 5s.
I'm sure you've hit your game 5s, okay? Let's not sleep.
I don't think I've ever legit. I think I either get 3-0'd or go 0-3.
To be fair, with mid lane, to be fair, it tends to be kind of a late BO5. Ooh, yeah, this is a rough way to end it because Notch was playing so well, very competent Falco player.
This is fucked up.
But I think we see a few more hits, it might be deuces. With these scenarios, I feel like down smash is so volatile, so it's so scary to even approach because if you whiff and you got a down,
What?
the comeback fair, yeah. That's a rough closure for Notch. We know Notch is a great player. Game 5 with Ferocity, losers finals, I believe. Yeah, losers finals. But we're gonna see Ferocity versus Relaxin' in Grands. Part of me excited to see what I got wobbled. Sorry, Notch. You had a great run though.
Fucked up.
Don't sleep on yourself, dude. Whatever you do. I mean, you made the losers finals. You've been beaten, I would say, pretty much top 100 players, or at least fringe, like certainly PR players from Chicago. So keep it up. Keep coming back. I'm excited to see you at Botlane. Maybe RPM if it ever works out. I don't know what region you're from, but you haven't been going to RPM, right, Inc? I don't think.
No.
It's just like an awkward location. It's a really awkward to get to from where we are. me and Ink are both Southwest suburb players, so it's just like, it's kind of a whole commitment if you don't have like the situation for it. But I don't know. I'm excited to see when we get a new venue or Vertex. I know that's
Where even is that? Where even is that?
I think it's in Bellwood or Maywood or something like that. It's a little north of LaGrange.
Is that a
if you've been
burb?
there.
That has to be a suburb, right?
Yeah, it's like LaGrange is like west to southwest burb, I would say, and it's maybe 10 minutes north of that. But the problem is we're seeing if it opens up. But Southwest burbs needs we do need to go to Bunker. Bunker is slept on. Anyone who's in the chat, all of you who are in the chat and haven't been to Bunker, make a trip to. Please fill me in IRS. Is it DeKalb?
I knew that was IRS, and I didn't even know IRS's Twitch name. Just like
I didn't know. Yeah, the vibe. I know.
Literal name that just screams him. I was like, no fucking way, that isn't him.
Someone told me it was IRS, and I was like, yeah, I should have imagined. Geneva. Okay. If you have the ability to get out to Geneva, absolutely make your way out. Bunker's a great tournament. They have crazy bracket. They have some of the greats, like I think it's like Not So Crazy, Beast Mode Vega, Erebus, Bosworth, that kind of crowd. A lot of those Western suburban players, if you're familiar. Kind of a different scene, but still connected. So make your way out there. We're not seeing the next set yet. It's going to be a long one. That's my guess. Even we could see a 3-0 and it's still going to be 16 minutes, Pizza in venue now. And I think beers too, right? Pizza and beer. I mean, you're basically at a bowling alley at that point playing Melee. But I'm excited for the next set.
When is the next Bold Over? Not this month.
Bold Over,
next month, right?
I think it's been a bit like pushed back. I think Kevin's been super busy. Tenacity's been busy with work stuff. I believe the co-TO was Walex, excuse me. Who's also been busy with band stuff, so it's just not really. But I would love to go to a Bold Over, dude. That sounds a bowling alley Melee. Have a beer, do some bowling, play some Melee.
What actually happened was Kevin made a tier 1 Valorant team, and
oh my god, that's crazy, dude.
And the other TO is on tour with his band. They do not give a fuck about Melee. They said, "Fuck the tournament.
Yeah,
we're going for the
it's
big
hard.
money."
I mean, it's like Melee's in a bit of a. I certainly don't want to say a recession, but it's certainly on the decline for now, at least, with like the general esports, economic, game situation, everything like that. But so I don't blame somebody for putting it on the back burner, but I'm really excited to see what tournaments show up. We can get a Southwest Suburbs, dude. We need Southwest Suburbs tournament.
Yeah, that'd be like a trifecta.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it's good. I think what's great about when we had mid lane and RPM is that we have two tournaments in the city, but if you're not from the city, you pretty much are shit out of luck, right? Excuse me. Like there's only so much you can do to get there, but I would love to see a little geographic diversity, cover your bases. Shouts to Geneva. I'm not making that drive very often out to Geneva, but I'm glad Bunker exists for sure. I'm curious, are you a bowler? If you went to Bold Over, would you be hitting 200s or whatever?
I think I hit 3 strikes in a row and I peaked.
Yeah,
the last time I bowled was when I had like 3 Bakugans in my pocket. That was like the last
you were prime. You were prime, dude. You were rolling balls left and right. You were prime for that. It's not your suburb, right? Yeah, literally. It's like everyone has the ability to go to a suburb tournament, but if it's not your suburb, it's just like to Geneva from where I'm at is probably a 2 hour drive. But I do want to make the commitment one day because it seems like a cool crowd.
Someone mentioned wanting to do a house tournament. Was that a suburban person? I swear.
I don't remember, but house tournaments are sick, dude. That is like the place to be. You lose, and then you're just like sitting on someone's couch, sulking, and then you just get to chill. Which is nice. I mean, mid lane was nice for it because you had the chairs to you lose, you sit in the chair, you kind of doom scroll for a little bit.
Yeah, it was dark, so no one could see me cry after.
Yeah, right. The doomer hours. Yeah, but it's nice at a house tournament. You can kind of like sprawl around a bit. Melee tournament in the Union Station food court. That would be dope. I don't think we have that kind of clout these days, but put me in Orland Park Mall food court, and I will play 1,000 games if you need.
I used to work there. What the fuck?
You used to work there. That's yeah. I mean, that's kind of the hub down here. I feel like I don't think we've ever had a mall tournament in Chicago. Probably an expensive venue to be fair. Oh, okay. We are going to relax in
snap.
Frosty. Just the hand warmer right now, presumably.
Puff is disgusting. Relaxin says they can play every fucking character. Play Fox. What?
Right, there is a level where it's like, okay, you can play Fox. Let's hurry this up a little. But obviously, Relaxin. This would be a big win. I don't know if they've entered a Botlane. They've certainly entered Cyberland when that was a Chicago tournament. But yeah, I think has won a Botlane. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, that's believable. Relaxing is crazy good, especially online. I don't know if have you entered much online brackets, or are you pretty in person?
No, I haven't entered any online stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely a different environment and vibe, but it's gonna be crazy to see Relaxin kind of either bring this home on their home turf, or Ferocity doing a extensive comeback. We'll say. Wow,
have you seen Relaxin's controller?
It's a Switch, it's like a Switch Pro GameCube controller, right, or something?
Yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, "Ain't no way Relaxin."
Losing to that,
like when I first joined mid lane, and I saw Relaxin controller, I'm like, "Oh, this dude is a goober."
Right, 12
and then
Pro controller should be easy, right?
Yeah, this was already when I had already Lil Broed Rocks. So yeah. Relaxin comes by and like asks Rocks to play friendly. So I'm just watching these two duke it out, and it's like, who's the best Puff in CLM? And Relaxin straight up fucked Rocks' shit up. I'm not even gonna lie. I completely discounted Relaxin on a first look just from the controller alone.
It's easy to dismiss because controller, age, etc. But like that kid is cracked. That kid is really good. And also that is some floaty shit to be like, let's do Puff Dittos in the middle of a bracket where we could be hanging out with people, but let's do
exactly.
But yeah,
and then,
wow, okay.
And then they switched to a Spacey, and then they had crazy tech skill, and I low-key thought I was gonna get one of those controllers. I thought that
Dude, I've been playing Rivals 2 on a Switch Pro controller, and I'm like, how do I move like Relaxin moves a Fox? You know what I mean? I don't get it. It doesn't feel right.
The circle gate too, I'm like, this gotta not be the move. There's no fucking way.
Relaxin is crazy good IRL too. Yeah, Relaxin is just like built different. I'm excited to see hopefully we have more regionals, more majors, more locals coming up in Chicago, but I'm excited to see how Relaxin does as they get more like mobility, so to speak. Even game though, I mean 3 stocks at 3, this is a matchup where you don't want to lose either a lead or at least maintaining some same stock situations, excuse me. Because once you're down, it's so rough to come back.
Yeah. Or lose your sanity too. I think that's another one.
Yeah, you can't let your psyche be broken by this kind of matchup.
The only time I've ever heard or watched this matchup, like on my own, was the Arizona. There's Arizona players that play Peach Puff. What is it? Cubs and someone else?
I don't know the Peach. I mean, I know CPU Zero.
CPU Zero and then someone else.
Some Peach in Arizona,
they said they hate this shit, and that's their local like grand finals every time. I'm like, damn. Wait, you guys, Sam or Sabrina are from AZ, so they know those two players. So yeah, it has to be like 40 minutes average.
Dude, it's got to be a rough draw, and it's like you want to win, so you can't just DQ because you don't want to play the matchup. But like, it's a brutal draw. I think we're seeing dead even 0-0, 2 stocks each. This is a dead even game. I'm curious what adaptations Ferocity is going to make compared to winners. I think probably you have to imagine playing a little safer, avoiding certain back air setups or up tilts, but I think pretty much maintaining the same pace. They're kind of going back and forth. They got to bring back splitting. Yeah, pot splitting. Look, if you know it's going to be a 60-minute grand finals, you got school tomorrow, you got work.
Isn't that a poker thing?
People like Music King used to do it in Melee.
Wait, seriously? What
yeah,
the
they'd be
fuck?
like,
I never
they'd
knew
be like,
that.
I want to go home. How about we just split the winner's pot? Like 50-50.
Wait, that's so legit. What the fuck?
It's like kind of lame, but it's lame for the spectators. But as the players, I'm sure you're like, I could either spend 60 minutes, maybe losing money, or not losing money, but like not getting the first place winner, or I could just take the 50-50. And I'm sure for some people that is tempting. But I mean, Ferocity's up. Pretty much a soft stock, not really. Yeah, it's an up smash. Great for the TOs. I'm sure there's some weeks Kevin was trying to get out of there. Like midnight, grand finals, Oberpliva. Kevin was trying to go home. Ooh, the rest. Does it kill? It does off the top. Wow, okay. Relaxing winning game 1 with the winner's advantage. So that's a huge momentum shift. Just maintaining that lead. Hasn't been a midnight mid lane since I got here. I remember there were some maybe a year or two ago. Rest is honestly great for puffing this. Yeah, I mean, Peach, what's she going to do, right? Like, down smash, right? Like, get a Stitch face. That's about it. It's definitely a different angle than I'm sure you've had to play Ink compared to... I mean, you haven't played Ferocity, you said. Have you played Relaxin'?
No.
No. I mean, if you're not playing online, it's like you get like once a year opportunity. Oh, we're quitting back out.
What
We saw...
Wait, no way.
We probably, my guess is we got Unfrozen Stadium and we wanted Frozen is probably what just happened.
What the?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh my god, if that killed, that would have been crazy.
I know, they were cooking. 86%. Oh my god.
Wait, you think Relaxin was listening to the stream?
They were like,
oh my god, what a goober.
I'll hurry this up, yeah. Okay, that grab is huge. But wow, just rejects it with the back air. That's crazy. We're seeing the down smash into off stage. Ooh, okay, back air, back off. Relaxing, really just kind of, I feel like, assertive. Really not afraid to... The up tilt kill?
What the fuck?
That's some Falco shit, dude. You get like down tilt up airs as Fox, but down tilt kill is kind of egregious. Okay,
would you ever play Puff if your Fox was this clean? Just asking you right now. Genuinely.
I feel like there's a level of catharsis that Fox gives you that to Ferocity just like side B like edge cancel or something. There's a level of catharsis that I feel like Fox has to give you, right? That like Puff just can't, except for like a high percent per.
I just don't understand how you're not having more fun doing this. Like I feel like this is way more fun.
We are in a minute 10 and we are already down 3 stocks, like for reference. So
we're hitting buttons. We're playing melee.
We're hitting buttons. That's what it's about. Oh my god, yeah, the reverse up tilt. Wow. Sorry, I'm just impressed by Relaxing Fox, honestly. Ferocity's still a good showing. I mean, Ferocity's a dope Peach player, so I'm sure we're not going to be seeing just a 3-0, but Relaxing is really impressive with this tech skill and just neutral in general.
With a Switch Pro controller, hello?
With a Switch, I think it's like a Switch modded GameCube controller. This is a Washington Melee reference. Silent Wolf Bladewise, right? Yeah. That was a dope matchup. That was like 5 years of Silent Wolf just making bank. Okay.
Was that a Shine turnaround out of Shield? I don't know. I might be seeing some shit right here.
All I'm seeing is a quick 2-0 so far. They got the colors right. Yeah, true.
What?
All right, we'll see what game 3. I don't know. I mean, I feel like all I'm saying is I don't know the matchup super well. I know Fox likes Frozen Stadium or even Unfrozen Stadium. But all I'm saying is the one game the one set I've seen Mewtwo beat Armada besides Marth was what was it? It was like Sweet 16 or something, super sweet. Mewtwo Fox on Pokemon Stadium beating Armada. That's all I'm saying. So there is some foundation for Fox Peach on Pokemon Stadium. And we're just going right back into it. FD, this is Frosty's counter pick, obviously. Just generally a tough matchup. You really have to hold your lead. We've seen Lot H-Box, we've seen Polish, we've seen Triff H-Box. Just kind of a slobber knocker. The F-tilt. There's a few moves where you see them and you're like, what are you doing? Like, Peach F-tilt has utility, but like, what's like a Falco example? Does Falco have a gimmick move where it's like incredibly niche? They're all pretty useful, I feel like, even if they're situational. Up air maybe is like a good example of like
maybe like single hit up air is like the only good version
like
of
you
up
can
air.
make it work, but it's weird, you know.
By the
Forward
way,
air for Falco, yes.
This is legit the most blue I've ever seen on the screen in Melee in my life. I legit have never seen this much blue in my life. Blue Puff?
It's blue season, dude. Okay, turnip in hand, not doing much with it, but maintaining that lead. 4 stacks at 3, I mean, 135 is high percent, but like, this is what you want. Oh, up air almost kills. Fair's the move you hit by mistake. Yeah, unless you're cooking. There is some Falco Fair shit where you can be cooking, but
A single hit
it's
fair,
like,
yeah, like off the.
I feel like it's more like you see them in a certain spot and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna
reverse
go for
fair.
it. Yeah, right. You're like, I'm gonna go for it just to cook, and then it doesn't work, and you're like, oh shit. Oh, okay. Doesn't close out the stock despite the recovery.
Wait, Puff has a dash dance? What the heck was that?
You can
Wait, Rocks don't be doing shit like that. I'm gonna
mean,
be
you
honest,
can
Rocks.
do- We're just cooking rocks for no reason.
He needs to take notes, bro. He does.
Yeah. Roxy's good, but like I feel like definitely a different play style from Relaxin', and I would say Marth up smash. Yeah,
Should
Marth
call him
up
the most
smash.
aggro Puff. Call Rocks the most
Rocks?
aggro Puff. That's
I
what
think
he calls
Rox
himself.
probably would. Yeah, I was gonna say Rox would probably call himself the most aggro.
I'm the most aggro
I think
Puff. No one does it like
Rox
me.
just likes to use his time having fun, I think, and that's cool because I think Rox doesn't mind playing a slow Puff matchup, but like he's also willing to be like, this sucks and I don't want to play it. I'm just gonna play like Fox or Peach or whatever. Whereas Relaxing is like down to play that 8-minute stall out.
Wait, you're
Okay.
so right. Wait, Relaxin' is the evolved form of Rocks. Like, imagine if you just had a Pocket Fox. and just...
The younger evolution. Yeah.
Legit. Oh my god, that's the next gen is the
I feel like
Relaxin'.
Chicago always has the like young Puff. Oh, okay. Doesn't kill off the dash attack. Wow. Even at 119 now. Relaxin' loves melee. Yeah, Relaxin' just has the love of the game. But Ferocity's up 3 stocks to 1, so we'll see if that love of the game can pull back a 3-stock comeback. Oh shit, okay. Fair.
Do you know the like floaty counterpick shit stuff off the top of your head? Like,
Not
I legit
really.
can't
I mean,
think
it's
of
like,
it.
right, like who likes Dreamland? I don't know. Both of
Don't-
them, right?
I feel like they just both press start and then that's like the next stage that they play
Yeah.
on. Like, it's legit random.
Right. I mean, it's like there's certain conventional picks, but I honestly, I'm very naive to that. Up throw, you can't really do much off a grab as Puff. I mean, I feel like people used to do some down throw shit, but even that was kind of like a DI check. Sage counter picks in this matchup are fairly vibes based. Yeah, that makes sense. We got Wustoons in the chat. Shoutouts to a competent and wonderful Peach player, excuse me. But yeah, I feel like it's really just like you're vibing out. Am I wanting more space? Am I liking platforms? Grabs the turn. Okay, Frosty. Let's close this out. You're at 130. That's
Oh
it.
no. Oh no.
We're just hoping
Wait, Clutch God?
the person in me that wants more good melee. is oh my god. Okay. I want more good melee, but also like this is crazy.
Wait, you
I
jinxed it.
think-
You said it was gonna be a 60-minute
okay.
set. Oh my god, what the fuck?
Wow.
Nah.
The clutch up tilt rest. You
Wait.
know there's probably rougher ferocity, but I mean great closure and clutch from Relaxin'. That's 3-0. That was a pretty dominant showing from Relaxin', right? This tournament. I mean, that was pretty. Just ran through the bracket. Triple peach between winners, semifinals, winners finals, and grand finals. But like, you can't dismiss it. Rip. Yeah, I mean, it was a great showing from Ferocity making it to grands. I mean, I love watching Ferocity. That's a tough draw bracket or matchup wise, but good shit to Relaxin'. That was a fun set.
Is that
did
the
not-
world record Peach Puff like fastest set ever?
Fastest,
Has to
right.
be.
I know, I
It
was
literally
worried about
has
it,
to be.
16.
Someone
I was
literally
worried.
checked the stats.
I was worried about the hour-long set, dude. But yeah, we made it. Good shit to Relaxin'. I don't know if we're doing a winner interview. Not sure what Relaxin' is comfortable with. Nicolette, if you want to check that out. But good shit to Relaxin'. That was a great bracket. Do you happen to have bracket in front of you or no? I think it was Relaxin' first, Ferocity second, Notch third, Trail fourth, Fry fifth, and someone else fifth. Maybe Nabi or someone.
Yo.
Hello, Relaxin'. How are you doing? You just won a great bracket, dude. You beat Ferocity 3-0. I think Ferocity 3-0 in winners, Fry 3-1 in winners as well. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I just feel great.
Uh,
I'm done with classes, so
yeah,
finally
heck yeah. Right, you can focus on the real deal, the melee.
Yeah.
Just for a few quick questions. So you're playing on it's like a Switch Pro to GameCube controller, right? If I'm not wrong.
yes, that's correct.
And your Fox is moving like that.
That's what I'm saying.
What was your logic for Fox Game 2? I'm sure, I mean, Pokemon Stadium, I think, is pretty good for Fox, especially, especially Frozen, but even Stadium Frozen. How do you shield drop? But yeah, what was the conventional pick for Fox Game 2? Or were you just feeling it?
I just like Fox on Stadium in general, and versus Peach, it's even better because you can just like
Mhm.
you saw that first stock where I just wave shined him like
Right.
5 times, and
Yeah.
that
Because
like
you're not getting chain grabbed in the same way as FD, but you have so much like long space to just drill shine or wave shine.
yeah, you just get
Wait,
like
but
all the
can you do that on every stage? That's not a Pokemon dependent pick. Like I swear
Yeah,
you
but
can do
like
that on
like
every stage.
like you get a shine like center stage on like Pokemon. That's like at least 3 more shines, but like on Yoshi, that's
Yeah.
like 1 more shine. It's not gonna
Right.
be
You
Yeah,
got to
but
do
like
an
it's
edge
like
guard.
one less up smash or some what like the maths out. Like you just hit an up smash
You
instead
also,
of
I
another
mean,
shine.
that low ceiling also, if you can do that wave shine into some kind of sequence into up air, that kills. We didn't see it quite there. I remember there was like a close call. GG's from Ferocity, by the way, relaxing in the chat. That was a great showing from you, Ferocity. Thanks so much
That was
for
the most
entering.
enjoyable set I've ever watched.
That was yeah, that was a great showing. Ferocity was gonna go game 2 Fox. That's why they picked Stadium, but then we got Fox Peach. Bro, yeah, relaxing. So where else are we gonna be seeing you? I heard that Waddle is ending in August. Are you gonna be trying to get in that? Are you gonna be coming to any Chicago tournaments? What are you feeling?
I'll try to go to Vertex probably.
Vertex, yeah.
If we get a new city local, I'll probably try going to that as well.
I mean, you're off Pink Line, right? So like, it's a little bit of an awkward spot, but you can
Yeah,
probably make it work. Yeah.
yeah, I'll definitely be at whenever next Boldover is,
Heck yeah.
and you'll see me around in online tournaments, of course,
For
probably.
sure. I mean, I mean, this is
It's your
this is your
playground.
environment,
The
dude. Yeah,
fuck?
you're right. You're running the show online. Um, yeah. Anything else you want to shout out? I mean, that was a great performance from you. We were excited to see it. Glad it wasn't a 60-minute.
You call yourself the best puff in CLM?
Yeah. Would you qualify yourself? How you feeling?
Just say it out loud right now. Just say it out
I'm
loud.
not gonna
Michael
name
kind of feel
names. Oh.
He's
Well,
retired. He's retired. Best active
retired,
puff.
yeah.
Active puff.
perhaps.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Perhaps. Yeah. Um,
Who
but
else is there?
I mean, let's see what we got. We got Rocks.
We got Rocks.
Josh isn't entering. Michael isn't entering.
Josh
Really?
is Urbana now. I'm pretty sure, anyways.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. Urbana Champagne getting a nice buff. Yeah, thank you so much for being down to interview. Thank you so much for entering and doing so well. Michael went to the last mid lane. I know,
was
but
emotional.
we're ignoring that. But also that was
was
sick. I was there for Michael versus Max, EU Max. That was a sick set. I don't think it panned out, but we were all. You got to get behind your boy Big Mike. You know that guy's awesome. Yeah, relaxing. Thank you so much for the quick little interview. You did great today. Great job performing in Botlane. And hopefully we'll see you. Wait, Michael won? It was all CLM Grand Finals? I'm making shit up. I don't remember.
Wait,
anything.
what? No,
There
I
were two
thought.
sets.
Were you,
Am I
wait,
tripping?
were you at the last mid lane relaxing or no?
No, I was at the second to last, but I was watching.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
2 Game 5 sets, both in winners and losers. Max won the winner set, and then Michael won the loser set.
Damn, okay. I was watching the carpool, but I don't remember. But yeah, that's heck yeah. Hopefully we're going to be seeing some of those hot performances from you as well. I mean, you just won bot lane. I think when IRL tournaments come up, obviously it's a different environment, social wise, etc. But I'm excited to see how you do, dude. It's going to be exciting. All right, we want to wrap this up here. Relaxing, you got anything to plug? You got any either tourney, social media, anything you feel like plugging?
Yeah, you got a Twitter.
I got Twitter, but I do nothing on there.
You do not. That's real. That's real. Well, thank you so much. You did great today. Shout out to the Only Noobs alumni. I think you don't qualify, but for me and
Wait, what's
Relaxing,
that?
Only
Why would
Noobs,
I not qualify?
You
Our
didn't win Only Noobs?
champions.
Me and Relaxing, we're Only Noobs champions. Yeah, we killed that shit.
Wait, how do I become
Shout
an
out
only
Dane as
noobs
well.
champion?
It's too late. Cadence
Too
used to
late,
run
yeah.
it. You should have watched the
Nah, we're gatekeeping tournaments.
interview.
GG.
Yeah.
Dane
No,
and Tom
run
are
one
also-
back. Do like a what's it called? Like a
Only Noobs
reunion.
Summit.
Only
I-
use reunion. Only noobs reunion for winners.
Yeah, Relaxing. I'm not trying to hold you long, but Only Noobs Summit, if we could ever make that happen, I mean, you're Chicago, I'm Chicago, Caden's Chicago. That would be sick. That's all I'm saying.
We have Dane. We have Tom. Those are also
We have
winners.
Dane, Tom. I know a few others that are like Chicago based. It would be
So
sick.
what's your head-to-head with Dane? Relaxing.
2-1? I'm not sure.
In your
actually.
favor?
You won?
Yeah. I
Damn,
think
that's
the only
feel
times
like-
we played are the bot lane sets, but we've had a few heaters on ranked, and he's won.
Yeah.
majority of those, I want to say.
Yeah, Relaxin might be top 5. I'm not gonna lie.
I think you're both like similar level, but I would say Dane is like particularly good against Puff. But yeah, all right. Thank you so much for the interview, and thank you so much for the stream, Nicolette, as well as Tori for the interview with Cadence. It was great, and I think we will wrap it up here. Hopefully, Nicolette has a raid, but otherwise, have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Good night,
Peace.
everybody.
GN.